Hey guys, before we start the pod, a quick word from our sponsors at Mortgage Choice. There's a lot of noise in the property market, buying, selling, capital gains, leverage. There's a whole bunch of stuff that is quite confusing. I take the guesswork out by working with the team here in South Melbourne at Mortgage Choice. I have worked personally with Paul and Ben at Mortgage Choice. They have been incredible to work with. They helped me with my own family home, and I recommend they help you with yours too. So there you have it, guys. I highly recommend you check out Mortgage Choice. Hey guys, welcome back to the Hear Me Roar pod. I am Toby, and my co-host is none other than the Kate Save, which you might know her from Shark Tank. She's also founder of BeFit Foods and picked up Telstra's Business of the Year award too. Kate?
Well, Toby, you've got a super impressive CV, 25 years in global commercialisation experience, and you founded Creative Cubes, Australia's leading co-working space and real estate business.
All right, let's get on with the pod. Kate, you don't have to go far to understand the outrage that's happening right now for small businesses. Here at Cubes, we have 37,000 companies work from Cubes on a regular basis. Small independents, we've got large corporates, we've got a ton of businesses. We had Paul Demech come on and talk about once the budget broke. Mm-hmm. He's like, hey, it's still early. I haven't got my hands around it yet. But as the weeks have gone on, it's become clearer and clearer what's happening here. And as a business owner, I feel stuck.
It is so difficult. So obviously I work in health. I employ dietitians, ex-phys, diabetes educators, and you look at the Medicare rebates that you get for a session like that. Like we're talking in the 50s, right? Then you look at the minimum wage, your operating costs, your expenses, your marketing, your software, your freaking AI subscriptions. How on earth can you run a business when Medicare is going to pay this, yet your minimum wage is at the same point and you haven't paid anyone yet?
So let's say you're unbelievably talented and you navigate that and you actually make a profit in your business, and then you decide to take that money and put in property or shares or invest for the future. They're pulling your pants down there as well.
Yeah. And I think we were talking off air that I started working at 14. I worked 7 casual jobs. I never traveled like all my friends. I've not stopped working for, 30 years. Not stopped working. I'm talking pretty 365 days of the year. And even in the birthing ward at the hospital, because I thought I'm going to build for something so that then I can have the holidays. Then I can afford to pay off the house, the this, the that, take the kids to a nice holiday, take them overseas where I never got to go as a kid, or take them to Disneyland, whatever that is. But now that feels like that dream may be taken away.
We're very lucky. We have a lot of people that have got significant profiles that are starting to speak out. In fact, our guest coming on, Dave Hughes, Hughsey, I told a couple of my staff members that Hughsey was coming in today and just offer him a coffee when he arrives. And they're like, oh, thank God for Hughsey. Yes. He's saying what everyone's thinking. So after the break, thanks to our great sponsors, we'll be back with Dave Hughes. Guys, I want to introduce you to Rise, a business cohort like no other. So what is the Rise Network? Rise Network is a curated inner circle of 10 to 12 like-minded peers designed to provide a confidential, high-trust environment where business owners and leaders can gain strategic insights, actionable solutions, and lasting relationships. Rise isn't just networking, it's a game-changing business support system. It has strategic problem solving built in, expert facilitation, actionable insights, long-term impact and authentic relationships, and it's based exclusively around high-trust cohorts. For your membership, you gain full access to Creative Cubes. That means you can drop in when you're on the run to use the meeting rooms, breakout spaces, or even just dock in for the day. We wanted to serve the underserved, the people that do need the help, do need the support, don't necessarily have the funds to be able to do it, and don't necessarily fit into one of these other organizations. And so that's where Rise kind of came from. So there you have it, guys. Go to werise.au, and I hope to see you at one of our cohorts soon. Hughsey, love your work, mate.
Mate, I appreciate that, Toby. Appreciate the kind words. So, yes, but I heard what you said in their teas, and yeah, they are. I'm getting feedback, positive feedback, all over Australia. And I was in Singapore last week with the family on a week's holiday. Kate, it is lovely. Have you been to Singapore?
Oh, I love Singapore.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of Aussies over there, and exactly the same there. People are so pissed off with the decisions that have been made by the federal government over the last couple of years, really, and topped off by that budget, which was the blindsiding budget, which I have been very vocal about, which it triggered me. I mean, as someone who voted for Labor in that election, which was only just over 12 months ago.
Yep.
So it's really fresh, and definitely I generally vote Labor, but there's no way I would have voted Labor if I had known they were going to change. For me, the capital gains tax was just insane what they did there. I found that insane and just so anti-ambition for this country, for anyone in this country, no matter their age. If you want to get enough money to get yourself a home deposit, the best way to do that before this budget was to start investing in the share market from a young age, so that your hard work could compound, so that you, from the work you did, could get you a home.
Yes.
So they have tied that changed with this negative gearing, which I've never negative geared a property. I'm being called a property magnate, which is absolutely ridiculous. We own a block of flats and a couple of other houses. Obviously, it's more than most people have, but never negative geared any of it because I don't like debt. Thankfully for me, because people who are leveraged at the moment will be under so much pressure, and I feel really bloody sorry for them.
I'm that person. I leverage things in that I know I can keep working until I can't, and so I'm like, I'll take the risk. But now, where's the reward? It feels like that's been ripped away.
You can't 12 months later say this is the biggest change in the tax system for 50 years and boast about that. When 12 months before, when you're asked 100 times, all those senior Labor people were asked 100 times, are you going to change negative gearing? Are you going to change capital gains tax? And they all looked down the barrel of the camera and said no. 12 months ago, they have lost the trust of the Australian electorate. Not the whole electorate. I tell you who they've lost the trust of. And I saw a guy, Tom Panos, who's doing stuff on social. He's in property. And today I saw he said, the suburbs that are really suffering the biggest losses are places like Balmain or in Melbourne, Elwood, or where I live basically. And
Mount Martha as well?
Yeah, but so not suburbs where people who are getting their first foot in the door of housing, not the suburbs, not the ones where they want these people to get their first, everyone wants a first time, but not the suburbs that they're really the biggest drop is in these suburbs of people who were on the way to financial independence or had the ambition to become financially independent, which everyone should have that ambition so that you don't have to rely on the government. That's what we should all be motivated to do. Yeah. And so those people, the people who were on the way to financial independence or had got there, have now lost complete trust in the government, and they will not. None of those people will invest in Australia while this government is in power. So if this government gets re-elected in 18 months or whatever,
they won't.
Those people will start leaving.
They won't and can't. There's also this 5% home deposit or first home buyers at 5%. Yeah. Those guys are now negative equity.
Yeah, but they haven't thought about any of the consequences at all. Yeah. I said this I put this on a reel, but it's a true story. We're in Singapore, and our real estate agent, family's real estate agent, rang us and said, we can put your rent. One of the flats in this block of flats came up for rent, and she said, we can put it up $100. And I said, no, we don't want to do that. And we actually don't need the money. Luckily for us, we don't need the money because we don't have debt.
But you're a workaholic too, so you're not the average person.
I know I'm not. So, but for most people who are leveraged, they have to put it up. We don't. We're lucky. So our renters are lucky. But everyone else they've got to. I said, my wife said we're not going to put it up. It's already low, what we've got, but what we're renting them at. But I said, honey, we also soon are probably going to get they're going to start losing money, even though we don't have a debt.
Yeah.
You've got all the land tax, you've got all the everything else that you've got to pay. There's no ability for someone who's got investment property to make a profit, so they have to put them up.
Yeah.
So all the rents are going to go up sky high.
Yeah.
But I heard you say Jim Chalmers said it'll only go up $2 a week.
That's what he said on the budget night.
Yeah, but your real estate agent said at least 100.
Mate, and that's playing out all over the place.
I see it. Yeah.
It is. They are so unaware of how business works. It is so disappointing. I'm fuming.
I loved what you said about changing the tax threshold, like let the first $50,000 be tax-free. Yeah. And then we don't need all these pay increases because they've got the money. And it saves the businesses. They're shutting their doors.
We talked about this at dinner.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to go to dinner with Hughsey a couple of weeks back, and you said that the increase or the minimum wage increase doesn't actually affect government employees.
No, because they're all already above. And this is the thing, and this is the problem with Australia. And I get that I've got a number of family members who work in government or, they're paid by government. I get it. And it's a tricky one for a lot of us because we all know people who work in government because so much of our population now is employed by the government.
Yes. Yeah.
But the truth is a lot of them are getting way too much money as salary. I'm sorry, but you are. It's just it's not sustainable. Yeah. The government, the average wage in government is, I think, around 15% higher than private. And there's no one in government who is on minimum wage. God. So what we're saying, when the government said, when Albanese said, oh yeah, we're gonna increase minimum wage, and of course we know how hard it is to live. We know every time you go to the supermarket, it's crazy. Of course, minimum wage needs to be higher. But when he says that, he doesn't. None of that money comes from the government coffers because they're already all above it anyway. So what happens is the increase that is the burden which is on business. Many small businesses are right at the edge, as you say, right at the edge already. Yeah. And so that burden goes all to them, but the government gets 30% of the money that the small businesses have to find for employees. The government takes 30% of that increase because that's tax. God. And so the government ends up looking like heroes. Oh, look at us, we're helping minimum wage earners who obviously need help, but they're not helping them out of any of their money. Yeah. They're increasing their take. So the government actually is taking more money off everyone and looking like heroes. Small businesses go to the wall as they are in record numbers. Yeah. The first $52,000, which is what the minimum wage is now, $52,000 a year for a full-time person, I'm saying make it tax-free.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed. And then we don't need $7 coffees because the coffee's $7 not because of the milk or the beans, because of the labour.
Yeah. And you know what? Once you start to realise how much of public money is wasted or stolen, it does your head in and you can never look at the world the same again. You can't look at a politician without utter contempt because they have thrown away the future of our children through greed, through incompetence, and through corruption. Corruption is so big.
It's running riot.
Corruption is the key thing, isn't it?
The corruption is the key thing. It's what I want to focus on now.
Victoria is out of control when it comes to corruption.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's, you know what someone said, I'm getting so many messages about this from people working on civil construction. Yep. Civil meaning government construction, government funded construction in Victoria mainly, but I'm not saying it's not happening everywhere, and I think it is happening all over Australia. But someone said that they were talking, the shop steward said it's only corruption if you're not getting the benefit. And it's like, you know what annoys me? Bill Shorten, who was possibly going to be the leader of this country, he tried to get rid of imputation credits on shares. Remember that? It was like the franking credits.
Franking credits, yep.
And he said he was going to get rid of it. He said it before the election. And Australia said no. They didn't vote him in. They learnt from that. And so they hid these latest changes, which is his ideas, or he was part of it. He wanted to get them in then. Yeah. They hid them this time. So they didn't say it. So they knew if they did, they wouldn't get re-elected. But anyway, he was on a comedy podcast, I think I don't know what it was, but due to Advocate or something. I don't know. Anyway, they're always lambasting me, whatever. Good luck to them. And he got asked about me complaining that I walk down the aisle of planes because I travel a lot. And I generally, if I'm paying, definitely go economy. And often I'll go economy anyway because I just want to get the job. And I also don't want to put more burden on a company when it's between Melbourne and Sydney. You don't need to fly business anyway. So I fly economy. And I walk past politicians and I'm thinking, we're $1 trillion in debt and why are you sitting in business class? Your business isn't going well.
That's right.
He got asked about that. Bill Shorten got asked about this on this podcast and he goes, this was his actual words and you can find it because it's still sitting there on the internet. He goes, Dave-o, he would if he could. He would if he could. So that's from this guy who's a leader of the common man. He would if he could. So I apparently, if I could fly business class, I would. Mate, that's their attitude. If you've got the chance to steal. Yeah. That's the attitude.
Well, you're seeing like Anika Wells flying all over the world with her family, business at first.
It was. I believe. I don't know the exact figures, but I believe that the travel for last year for the whole of the government was close to $1 billion. What have they achieved with that money? Nothing. Actually, we're going backwards. Mate, the more money they take off the working person, the worse the country is.
Yes.
That's just the way it is.
Yes.
Because they don't have any respect for that money and they use it in poor ways to add more layers of red tape, to employ more people to get in the way of business. It's just, we need a massive reset in this country, massive reset, all levels of government. Council, state and federal. That's 3 opportunities for corruption and they all take them.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get workers because you're actually, when you're like I employ people in my dietitian business and we get new graduates and the money that they can get in the public sector is so much more.
You said 15% more.
Yeah.
But also, and that's just for the workers. We're not even talking about like the subcontractors, like the NDIS, which is, we've all got people in our lives, and I do, who need help from government if it's through the NDIS because of, I've got my niece has got special needs and she lives in a house that we've, got for her and she's got someone staying overnight with there's 2 of them in the house. So, look, everyone needs help. I know that. But having said that, that means we all know about the rorting of the NDIS.
Yes. Sure.
Anyone who's had anything to do with the NDIS knows about the rorting, and that is a lot of people. It is out of control. It's crazy. The wages I have no idea who set the payments, but they are way out of whack with what private sector could ever afford. If we want this to keep going, and we do, because we want people in these situations to be helped, someone in government has to go, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. It is not sustainable. So you know what people in government have to do? They have to do some work. And they just don't want to.
Well, so I believe that, I agree with you, but they also out of touch. So they don't really understand because they've always been on the government purse.
Yes. Yeah.
They don't understand the trials and tribulations of small business. They don't get it.
I have no idea why, because small business is such a big part of Australia. It always has been.
Yep.
Hopefully always will be.
Yep.
It's like they just want to get rid of it completely and just have everyone just, I don't know where they think the money's going to come from.
Well, yeah, so that's the point, right? So if everyone becomes a government employee, where does the money come from?
I don't know. I mean, it's because they're not even, a lot of talk about resources and what they're doing there. They're not managing any of it well. They're just, mate, the resources thing's another, it does my head in. I'm doing a gig for a mining company in bloody Queensland. There's a massive pile of coal out there which is about to go on a train to get shipped somewhere. I said, where's that going? They said, there's $2 billion worth of coal. I said, really? They goes, yeah. I said, where's it going? They said, it's going to Europe. So Europe's burning it. Europe's using it, but we're not allowed to. I don't know. It's the uranium's the same. It was like the federal Labor, I just, for some reason, I was going through a drawer the other day and there was a bloody flyer from the last federal campaign, and it was a Labor flyer. And one of the big ones was you can't trust Dutton. That's what they said. Mm-hmm. Who could we trust? We could trust you, could we?
Yeah.
And also, he loves nuclear. He loves nuclear. The scare campaign on nuclear power that they use to help them get across the line is disgusting because they're now just selling it to India or giving it to India. What are they going to do with it? I thought it was scary. They will do anything to get re-elected, anything. They'll say anything. And it's taken me so long to realise this. I'm so annoyed at myself.
Yeah, they're bringing in a lot of votes as well on the imports.
Yeah, they'll vote for them when they come in. Give any new immigrant in this country 5 years here, and they won't vote Labor again.
But the problem is, but they're juiced up on the money, right? So they're being brought into the country. Their stuff's being paid for. They're getting almost like a free ride.
Yeah, look, I hear you.
And so they don't want that gravy train to stop. So I'll continue to vote.
They will initially, and hopefully people who turn up here want to work hard and do it honestly, and then eventually they will stop voting Labor. But right now, you're right. There's an issue. There's an issue.
Massive issue.
Definitely. So
what Jacinta Allen did the other night at the G with the Indian community and representing. Having India come into Australia. I'm all for diversity and all the rest of it. I love it. Yeah, my buildings are full of it. But what they're doing is
I know. They want voters in blocks.
Yeah.
Mate, there was someone sent me a screenshot of so I'm getting a lot of stuff about that from the this is another example sort of from the big build. It's like there's in the lunchrooms there's a poster. It was before it goes, you didn't like Dan during the lockdowns. None of us did. But then it goes, but there's $100 billion in work coming up. Do you want a part of it?
Wow.
Or not? If you want a part of it, vote Labor.
It's
absolutely buying votes in the thousands. It's sending the state broke. It's purely to make themselves and their mates rich. And honest people are going out of business left, right and centre while they're scumbags. And I've voted for them so many times. They are con artists. They are selling our children's future to stay in power so they can steal more money. And people say, the Age goes, why is Dave Hughes angry? If the Age did its job, and it does a bit, it does some good stuff, but there's so many people in there and the Sydney Morning Herald who are so in with the left that they will refuse to see what's happening in the world. Refuse to, and would rather attack me. Like I'm the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like I'm the one who's out of touch.
You've got nothing to gain.
I've got nothing to gain. Seriously, I said no debt. Luckily, never been on cocaine. Never bought a maxi yacht. We fly economy.
And you get a lift home from a stranger on the plane. I've heard that.
I'll get lifts home. I'm not. I'll go on trams.
Pretend to be getting an Uber. Oh, where are you going?
No.
I'll get a lift.
But if people want to give me a lift, I'll take it. I'm very trusting. I was in Tasmania once, and this bloke who said, "You want a lift?" He looked like he could be from Wolf Creek. I got to his car, and it was not. It was like I opened. There was rubbish. Oh God! Oh. I actually straight away did an Instagram because I thought I need evidence here if I get killed.
Good life.
But I didn't get killed. I am still in touch with the common person, I believe.
Dave, I believe you are too. A couple of questions. One is, do you think people are going to vote in preference of Jess Wilson, who, by the way, we've spent a bit of time with? I think she's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm all in with Jess, and I've said it publicly. I'm all in with Jess Wilson for the Victorian election.
So am I, and I'm not political about it. I actually believe in her.
Yeah, so do I. So do I. And
I think she's amazing, talented. But
I like her.
She has an invitation to come on the pod.
Yeah.
She's on a tour at the moment. She's going to come probably in our August.
And
film
she's
session.
a mum.
She's a mum. But I believe in her. I believe in her. Do you think people are going to vote like I am because they believe in Jess, or they're going to vote because they're angry and they're going to want to vote for Jess because they don't want Jacinta?
Oh, look, we as people say, what's really triggering for me, and it has been for a number of years, and it was, look, I've been a long-term Labor voter, and I reckon I didn't vote for Shorten. Someone reminded me, you voted for Bill Shorten, did you? And hang on, no, I didn't. Not with those, when he was saying he was going to change the franking credits. I actually didn't vote for him, but I think I didn't tell my wife I didn't vote for him. But she votes Greens anyway, which is like voting Labor. People got to remember, if they vote Greens, they're voting Labor. So don't. If you're voting Greens, you're voting Labor.
Has she come?
I
still haven't got across the line.
I don't want to expose.
I don't know. She hasn't guaranteed that she's. I said.
Really?
I said. I said, honey, it's got to be Labor last. If it's not Labor last, they're going to get back in.
Yes.
And I don't think the state can handle it.
Yeah.
And you know what? If Labor get back in, it's a green light for corruption.
Totally.
And they've already got the green light. If Victoria votes them back in, it's over.
Yes.
And how can they run, like that was on a current affair or whatever it was on national TV, yet people are going, what corruption?
Yeah.
And it's like, are you kidding me?
I know,
What,
but I was
mainstream
like those people.
TV?
I was like those people. You can, if you're okay in life, and luckily for me, again, with the no debt, I'm
Yeah.
okay in life.
Yeah.
It's like you can.
You've got to think about your kids.
I know, but
though,
you can
don't
glide
you?
over the top of it.
Yeah.
But for me in Victoria, what Dan Andrews did during COVID was disgusting, and I got turned on. I turned on Victorian Labor then. I turned on Victorian Labor when they ripped up the East-West link. Initially, it was $1 billion contract, which had been signed by the previous government, the Liberal government. Liberals have had like 3 years in Victoria in the last 20 odd years. There's been no Liberals hardly in Victoria. So, and they said, I remember Ted Baillieu was the Premier, and they said he doesn't do anything. And I was dismissive of that. I would love a Premier who didn't do anything, because when they do stuff, when Labor do stuff, it's just to get money for themselves.
Corrupt, yeah.
They're doing what they do is to make their mates rich.
Yeah.
So whenever you see the big build, and I know there's a lot of good people work on it, and some of them work hard, but they know more days, more pays. That's the motto. There's 2 mottos on the big build: more days, more pays. Everyone eats on the big build. It's not just the union. Everyone is complicit who works on the big build. You are all complicit in what goes on, and you know what I'm talking about.
To that point, I saw a clip, and we talked about it previously. You're in the dog park.
Yes.
With your whippet.
No, well, Ginger's is 46% greyhound. She's a great
Greyhound.
dog. She does like to drag other dogs around by the neck, but only if they want to be dragged.
Only if
There's a
they're
husky who just called Fitz, who loves being dragged by the neck. I was happening this morning. I'm like, that's enough. And so I get Ginger off this big husky, and the husky just comes back for more. I'm like, oh, whatever. That's what you want. That's what you get.
So back to the topic at hand. Someone approached you in a hoodie.
Yeah, a hoodie. I felt like I was in like a John Grisham novel or something. So this was on Sunday, and it was rainy, and it was like we just got back from Singapore, and I'm in the park with the dog. He goes, mate, good work on what you're saying. I said, oh, thank you. I'm getting everywhere, by the way.
Sure.
Like I was at the MCG yesterday on Saturday night when Carlton got flogged.
Ouch.
And I honestly thought I was Nelson Mandela. Honestly, I've never had a reaction like it. People are angry. So
Yes, they
anyone
are.
who's watching who is struggling because of the government decisions, you are not alone.
Yes.
There is millions of people who are also angry.
Yes.
So to remember that.
And by the way, for those listening, understand where it starts. If you are struggling and you're working your guts out, understand why you're struggling.
I'm going to say it's all, and I've never said this before, really, it's all the government's fault.
I couldn't agree more.
It is all the government's fault because they take productive money, earned productively, and they turn it unproductive. So the more money they take, the worse we are because they let it get stolen or they waste it in unproductive ways, and that makes everyone's cost of living, everyone's standard of living go down, which it's gone down to the lowest, I think, the first time in since the Second World War. These guys have really had a shocker.
So just, guys, I want you to understand why. But back to the park.
Yeah, I'm in the park. This bloke goes, I was a manager on a big build site. And I said, oh, yeah. He goes, I left because I couldn't ethically do it anymore. That's what he said. Wow. He left because he couldn't ethically do it anymore. I said, can you tell me how it works? And he said it's set up by the contracts. So this is the government setting it up.
Yep.
This is not the union set it. Well, maybe the government and the union are the same person. I don't know.
Collaborating.
But this is not. There's the tender. Normally in a private sector, the tender, you go over the tender, you're going to lose money. But not in these government builds. Government builds is called share the gain, share the pain. When you get over the tender, it all gets divvied up, but you get extra money. So his word for me which stuck with me, is there is no incentive for the builders to stop spending.
Gosh.
Imagine that in a small business. No incentive for you to stop spending. So
you go to jail for that, actually.
You would go to jail.
Because if you keep trading and you're insolvent, you go to jail.
Because it's not, it is flat out theft. And all these building companies know. They know. Honestly, we should put their names up in lights. If you're a company involved with a big build, I want your name in lights.
Yep.
I want people to know that you know what the fuck is going on, and you know that what you're doing is taking money from people who need it. It's all these big companies. So don't just blame the CMFEU. It's not just them. All these big building companies know exactly what's going on. And do they stop working with these government? No, they don't. They keep working with this government. We're going to see you, building companies. You need to fucking work yourselves out. It is disgusting what's going on. It is billions. 15 billion is a drop in the ocean.
Yeah, I'm not convinced. More. I reckon it's more than double that.
Every single civil site, all the hospitals with the union flags, they're all the same. It's happening there. Every single civil construction building site is corrupted, and we see you. We see you. And you are going to get famous for it. Someone in the government, someone in the building game, someone in the union has to stand up and go, fuck this. Yeah. I don't want to live like this. Yes, I've got a new car and it's worth $300,000, but I'm fucking morally bankrupt, and they are. Yeah. And that someone is going to grow a conscience and go, we've had enough. This is bullshit.
Do you know the whistleblower, poor Darren Hinch that we lost the other week, but he was a whistleblower on the pedophiles. We need someone like that coming out.
A statue. I'll fund the statue. If someone can come out and be honest and anyone with everyone on the big bill knows, anyone in construction knows exactly what I'm talking about, because every single person in construction talks to me about it, and no one. Stuff I've said has had millions of views. No pushback on the money I'm talking about. No one. And if I was wrong, I would be fucking sued.
Yep.
Straight away.
Yep.
No one has contacted me from these companies. You know why? They don't want their fucking name involved.
Because it's the
they
truth.
know if they contact me, well, then they're going to get spotlighted. Yeah?
Yeah.
They know that. So silence, radio fucking silence from the whole lot of them, because they know they're in on it. Fucking, it's got to stop.
So a couple more things. I love it. I love it because you know what? You know your audience, as in people are looking at you and you are speaking truth here. And people
if I'm not, you tell me I'm not. If you're in the big build and you're squeaky clean, you fucking come and tell me, and I will highlight you. You show me you show that you're squeaky clean and that people are getting paid appropriate amounts of money, not triple what they would get in private sector, triple. If they're not, if you have a company working on the big build and everyone in that company or everyone working, all the union people, all of them are getting what they would get in the private sector that's what they should be fucking paid. Why do you get triple the money? Because you're working on a government website. That money could be spent on my niece did the nursing because Dan Andrews said it was free degrees. Yeah. She did it.
Yeah.
And she loves nursing. My mum was a nurse. My mum's passed now, but they used to talk about nursing together. She gets out of her course last year, no placements. They cut all the placements for nursing grads in Victoria. They cut them all. But on the big build, everyone eats on the big build. More days, more pays. That's the big build. But what does that mean? It means that the roads have got potholes in them. Yeah. It means the fireys can't get fucking trucks.
It means you're waiting at emergency for 17 hours to be seen because there's no one in the hospital.
It means every police station is shut at fucking 6 o'clock if they're not closed completely. Yeah. It means crime's gone through the fucking roof.
Which it has.
But on the big build, everyone eats. More days, more pays. So a tunnel that was meant to cost $5 billion cost $10 billion. Why? Yep. More days, more pays. $10 billion, everyone makes more money.
Hughsey,
everyone makes more money.
Do you think your impact here is fantastic, and we're really grateful you've come on today? Do you think that you have a place in this world, or do you reckon just the voice to bring attention to it is enough? Or do you want to go in, be on Jess's team?
I don't know. I do not want to be a politician. And you know what? I don't give a shit who's in Parliament. I don't care. I'm not. My ego doesn't go, I'm never going to be Labor again or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Just stop it.
Yeah.
Whoever can stop the bullshit which is going on, which is everywhere, and it's not just building sites, by the way. It's right through everything. Every government dollar is dirty, and they're taking it. Look, this is hearsay, I know, but someone said to me recently, my wife works in the Victorian Treasury. it's everywhere. It's not just building. Health, apparently. Health is a big part of where the stealing's going on.
We see it in the NDIS.
Well, clearly.
Yeah.
But fuck, but it's like, you know what? We need smaller government in Australia.
Yep.
There's too many levels of government, but the less money they can get their hands on, the less they can steal. Government should be so much smaller in this country because you can't trust people when the money's not theirs.
Yes.
That's right.
You just can't trust them. And I think that's human nature. That's why communism doesn't work, because power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And if Jacinda Allen's team gets another 4 years, that is absolute power.
No ways. We got 100 as we go to air on this pod. As we're filming it, should I say? We're not going to air today, but there's about 130 odd days left, and I'm counting them down. If you are following me on X, 135 yesterday, and it's got a boot at the end of it. Jacinta is gone. Jacinta is gone.
But it's only if Labor last, because we need a reset. It's got to be Labor last. If it's Labor last, they don't get another 4 years of stealing. And I'm sorry, but that's fucking the way it is.
Yep.
You cannot reward that. But what we need is everyone who isn't on the take, and there's so many people on the take, and we know you're not going to get them because the fucking self-interest is the best motivator.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I get that's why capitalism works. So, but
you could have parents stay at home because only one needs to work if you got triple the wage.
That's the issue. So all those votes are gone. She bought them. She sold our futures to get those votes. We know that.
Yep.
If you are not on the take, even if you are, if you're on the take and you want to come clean and just live in the light rather than hiding shamefully what's going on, and you know it's shameful. You know it's shameful. But if you want to be clean and fucking come to the light, please do.
Yes.
But if you are not on the take in Victoria, if you are not complicit in what's going on, you've got to vote Labor last.
Okay, so how do people do this? If they want to come clean, you've got a voice. A lot of people don't have a voice. Like you said, they come up to you in hoodies in the park and they've got something to say.
They've got a conscience.
They're
they're
divulging to you.
On my socials about this stuff, and I don't look at all my messages as well. So I only basically look at Instagram, by the way. If you want to message me, go to Instagram because I cannot look at all the other sites. There's not enough time in the day.
Yeah.
You know? So if you want anything to say to me, go to Instagram and DM me. And I always anonymous, but it's like, I'll never dob anyone in who's said something who wants to come clean. But I'm getting so many messages, it just blows my mind.
Yeah.
So, I just look. The media has to do a better job here. The ABC has been asleep at the wheel, just so badly.
So who do they call? Which media is not in on this? That if someone does have a story, who do they speak to?
I think the ABC can come around. I was talking to someone at the 7:30 report the other day. So I said, why aren't you on this? What's going on? Stop focusing on what's happening in other countries. There's so much corruption in this country. We need to bring our focus back to Australia where we all fucking live, and stop obsessing about other countries. Because we know we move on from one country. Oh, there's a problem here. We'll focus on that for fucking 3 weeks, and then we get bored with that and we'll go somewhere else. While you're focusing all your attention on overseas, this country is being stolen from us by corrupt people in our governments. And we need to focus on this. So any media, please focus on what's happening here, because this really affects us. So stay present into Australia and shine a light on the corruption here. Because people who really come out and fucking stop this, I'll build a huge statue for them. I'm going to go back into debt to do it.
I'll chip in for that as well. We're going to wrap it there. Dave, thank you so much.
No worries.
I really like. Firstly, when you first came out about it, I texted you and said, if you're going to run, count me in on your team. You don't need to run. I think you're doing a fantastic job. But if there is a chance that you're going to be involved, I'm right there with you. I really support and endorse everything you're saying. I love people, and too many people are getting hurt at the moment.
I've got to say, small business people are heroes. I say, whenever I see someone, I say, you're a hero. If you employ someone else, you have to pay the payroll tax. You've got all the stress of making sure they get paid. Yeah. Well, I'm not.
And the risk. You put your house on the line. You cannot get a loan from a bank these days.
Yeah,
if you're a
exactly.
Like
you're taking all the risk and you're taking all the worry.
Yeah.
And, I've been an employee. I get it. All right, you work hard and sometimes you feel you're not appreciated enough. But just remember, if you're working for a small business especially, and larger businesses are under pressure as well, don't get me wrong, small business, the person who owns it is fucking taking so much risk. They're probably working 80 hours a week and they're paying you, and they want you to stay in a job. And part of their worry is trying to keep you fed.
That's
can only
right.
keep you in a job.
Yeah.
That's right.
So their worry is to keep you in a job. So don't take the piss. And if you don't need to fucking work from home, don't work from home, even though Jacinda Allen said you could.
And thank you to everyone that is working in small business, because they know they could go elsewhere and get more money, but actually their loyalty and what they are doing to actually support the businesses. So
That's
the people
part of the problem.
that work
Part of the
in
problem is the
small
good
business-
people are leaving private sector in you know, a lot of people say, I employed my son. I put him through his trade.
Yeah.
He's an electrician. You know, he's a great kid. He's a good electrician. He's gone to the big bill.
Because they can't afford to pay him.
Pay three times what I can pay.
Yeah.
Because it's three times the commercial rate, or at least that.
God.
Do you remember commercial rate? No one on these civil construction sites gets commercial rate, because apparently Victoria's doing so well, they can pay people three times what they should be paid, because $200 billion in debt doesn't fucking mean anything.
So maybe there's that fear that it's all going to be over. So go back, support small businesses, work for people that actually care about you, the economy, your well-being, the future of Australia, and our children. That's what we're doing this for.
Guys, we've got to wrap it there. You can follow Hughsey. I'm going to link all of his, or I'll link his Instagram anyway, in the show notes below. We could talk all day. I'm pretty fired up. We've been sitting. I'm serious. Like I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated for me, but I'm more frustrated for my people.
Yeah.
My
small
community.
businesses.
You know, the small businesses.
Mate, but yeah, again, any small business person watching this, you are, if you feel like you're alone, you're not. And so don't. Can I just say this, because I've had people who are really depressed. I was in Singapore the other day with a bloke who's a builder. He's got a reasonable sized company. He was there with his wife and his 4 daughters. He said he bought a one-way ticket because he's so fucking frustrated he had to get out.
Yeah.
I said, mate, come back. We're going to sort this shit. But he was so, like, they are.
So by the way, I feel like I want to do that too, but I feel trapped. My kids are in school here.
I know, mate.
And you know, I've got a property business here. I've got 16 of these sites as we go to air across Australia. I can't just work remote or work from home.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we've got to fight. And I want to help you fight.
I feel trapped.
I want to help good people stay in Australia, because everyone who is thinking people are looking for the exit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if this keeps going, the brain drain in this country is going to be massive.
Yep.
And it's going to get into a slump that's going to last for a long time. So we've got to change the way we do things, or there's absolutely no hope for the Australian economy, and also for any dreamer and striver, anyone who wants financial independence will just leave Australia.
All the inventors in the world come from entrepreneurs. So if we're not putting, faith in the next generation to actually take a risk, we're not going to have any ideas.
No, we don't have any ideas at all. So it's like, and it's, it's crazy.
Hughsey, thank you. We got to wrap it. I could talk all day. I do.
I've got to stop talking about it.
No,
I
this
see
is.
why you're so fit.
No,
You
this
said
is-
you're the lightest you've ever been. Look at
Yeah,
the energy
but
that you
it's
just
important.
You said about 500 calories.
I'm obsessed now. But once you
Yes.
see the corruption,
Yes.
for me it was like initially the unfairness of lying to the electorate. No, I'm not going to. And the stupidity of killing ambition in this country. That was my first thing.
Yeah.
But then then you open your eyes to the corruption, and then you can't look back. It is disgusting.
Thank you.
weareluna.co is a great place for you and your business to start off with phenomenal accounting and legal services. So if you're a startup or a scale-up looking for legal and finance support, or alternatively looking to raise capital, weareluna.co is where you need to be starting off.